Barracks room, Fort Liberty, a Tuesday afternoon. You're eating a protein bar. Your team sergeant is filling out paperwork at the desk across from you. He doesn't look up. You should put in for 18D, he says. You ask him why. He keeps writing. Because you're wasting it here. That's the whole conversation. You will learn to save lives. In places where saving lives was never supposed to be possible. You put in your packet 6 weeks later. You passed SFAS in October. Now it's January and you're standing in a registration line at the JFK Special Warfare Center in school, holding a folder of medical records, waiting for someone to call your name. You think you know what's coming: hard training, long hours, the best medicine the Army can teach you. You have no idea what they're actually going to ask you to do. Level 1, the student. They tell you in the first week that you will learn more medicine in the next 57 weeks than most people learn in 4 years of medical school. You think they're overstating it? They're not. Emergency medicine, paramedic certification, trauma surgery, anesthesia, dental, OB, veterinary care for working dogs, all of it, in sequence, with a test at the end of each block that you pass or you're gone. By week 8, you can start an IV in the dark. Week 12, they hand you a scalpel. The live tissue lab doesn't look like what you imagine: a table, a goat, an instructor 3 feet away with his arms crossed. Make the incision, he says. You do. You suture it, you open it, you suture it again. You do this until the motion is in your hands and not your head. You learn a surgical airway with a number 10 blade. You learn to decompress a tension pneumothorax, 14-gauge needle, second intercostal space, mid-clavicular line. You learn to amputate. That one you practice on a cadaver. Week 20, you rotate through Womack Army Medical Center. Real patients. Real ER. You're assisting in surgeries. An attending watches your hands one afternoon. He says, "You're better than most of my residents." You don't know what to say to that. You go back to the schoolhouse. You keep training. Level 2, the team medic. Your ODA is 12 men. You are one of 2 medics. The other one, Torres, has 2 deployments. He doesn't say much. He watches how you work. You're in Kunar Province, Afghanistan. A fire base the size of a parking lot pressed up against a ridgeline. The first 3 weeks are medical civil action patrols, medcaps. You load a pack with antibiotics, wound supplies, oral rehydration salts, and you walk into villages, and you see what's there. What's there is everything: respiratory infections, untreated fractures healed crooked, children with parasites, a woman with a tumor on her neck the size of a tennis ball who has had it for 6 years because there's nowhere to go. You treat what you can, you refer what you can't, you write in your notes at night. Week 4, a patrol makes contact 2 kilometers out. 1 casualty, gunshot wound, right thigh, femoral involvement. You are moving before anyone says your name. You get there, you work. Tourniquet, wound pack, 2 large bore IVs, a liter of saline, a morphine draw. The casualty is conscious. He keeps asking if he's going to lose the leg. You don't answer, you keep working. The medivac lands 11 minutes later. He keeps the leg. Torres claps you once on the shoulder and walks away. That's it. You call home that night. Your girlfriend picks up. She asks how you are. You say fine. She asks what happened today. You say not much. Neither of you says anything for a moment. Okay, she says, I love you. You tell her you love her too. You hang up. You go clean your kit. Level 3, the surgeon. You are on your 4th deployment, Mali now. A JSOC advise and assist mission with Malian Special Operations Forces outside Gao. The nearest surgical facility is 190 kilometers away. That is the number you live with every day. A Malian soldier comes in with acute abdomen, rigid, guarding, fever of 103. You do the assessment. You know what it is. You call the JOC and ask for a medevac. Weather is down. Birds are grounded. Earliest window is 14 hours. An appendix perforates in 4 to 6. You open your surgical kit. You lay everything out. You have done this 100 times in training and twice in the field, and never like this. You draw ketamine. You call Torres on the sat phone. He's 3 countries away. You put him on speaker and set the phone next to the table. Talk me through the landmarks, you say. He does. You make the incision. The room is quiet except for Torres and the generator outside. Folding table, headlamp, diesel smell. You don't think about anything except what's in front of you. You work for an hour and 9 minutes. You close. He lives. You wash your hands. You don't look at anything. 2 weeks later, a patrol brings in a detainee with a gunshot wound to the abdomen. Enemy fighter. He was shooting at your team 20 minutes ago. 2 of your guys have shrapnel in their legs. They're getting treated in the next room. You treat him first. His wounds are worse. Nobody says anything. Nobody has to. You all know the law, and you all know what it means. You work on him for an hour and 40 minutes. You stabilize him. You hand him off. You never find out what happened to him after that. That one stays with you, not the treating, the not knowing. Your right shoulder has been clicking for 8 months. You ignore it. Your knees hurt going downstairs. You ignore that too. You've been home a combined total of 14 months in the last 4 years. Your girlfriend is your fiancé now. The engagement was her idea and also her ultimatum, and you both understood that at the time. She has a calendar on the refrigerator. She crosses off days. One morning, you notice she stopped crossing them off 2 months ago. You don't ask about it. 3 weeks before you redeploy, a village elder brings his daughter to the fire base. 8 years old. Burn wounds on her arms and torso. 3 days old. Infected. You spend 4 hours on her. She cries the whole time. You don't speak Bambara. You just work. When her father takes her home, he stops at the gate and turns around. He puts his hand over his heart. You nod. You go write your notes. The notes are clinical. Wound depth, treatment applied, outcome. That's all. Level 4. The loss. You are a sergeant first class. 7th deployment. You have treated 214 combat casualties. You keep the number in a notebook. You don't know why you keep it. You just do. His name is Danny Ruiz. 18B. Weapons Sergeant. Your ODA, 3 years. He has a daughter named Claire. She turned 4 in February. He showed you the birthday photos 2 weeks ago on his phone. He takes a fragment from an IED outside Maiduguri, Nigeria. Small entry wound. Left side, low. He's conscious when you get to him. He's talking. You work fast. You pack the wound. You get a line in. 2 liters of saline, a TXA push, a morphine draw. His pressure is holding at 94/60. His eyes are tracking you. He asks if he's good. You tell him he's good. You mean it when you say it. His vitals say it. Everything you can see says it. But something bleeds internally that you cannot see and cannot fix and have no tool for. The descending aorta. A nick. The size of a fingernail. His pressure drops at minute 6. You push more fluid. You call the medevac. You tell them priority 1. You tell them now. The bird lands in 9 minutes. He is unconscious when they load him. He dies before they reach the hospital. The attending writes in the surgical report that the field treatment was correct and complete, that there was nothing more that could have been done. You read that line 4 times. You told him he was good. You read that line 1 more time. Then you close the report. You add his name to the notebook under the number. First name in there. You think about Claire turning 4 in February. You don't write that down. You don't need to. Your fiancé calls that night. You pick up. She asks how you are. You say tired. She says she has something to tell you. You already know what it is. She says she's been offered a position in Seattle. She says she can't keep doing the calendar. You tell her you understand. You mean it. You actually mean it. You hang up. You sit for a while. Then you go check on the rest of your team. Level 5. The instructor. They send you back to Fort Liberty. You are a master sergeant now. You will teach the Special Forces Medical Sergeant course for the next 2 years. That is not a question. That is the assignment. The first day of class, 22 candidates sit in the same chairs you sat in 11 years ago. Same smell, antiseptic and floor wax. They look exactly like you looked then. You stand at the front of the room and you go through the block on hemorrhage control, tourniquets, wound packing, junctional bleeds. You know the material so well you could teach it asleep. You have applied every technique in this block on actual human beings, in actual emergencies, and you know exactly what it feels like when it works, and exactly what it feels like when it doesn't. You don't tell them that. Not yet. You watch them practice on the rubber arms. One of them is already good. One of them is going to wash out by week 6. You know this by the 2nd day. During the surgical block, a candidate asks you what it's like to do a procedure in the field for real. You think about the folding table in Mali, the headlamp, the diesel smell. You think about Danny Ruiz at minute 6. You say faster than you think it'll be, and quieter. That's all you give them. The rest they have to earn. Your knees hurt every morning now. Your right shoulder needs surgery the group surgeon has been recommending for 14 months. You keep declining. You have a class to finish. The notebook has 9 names in it. You don't show it to anyone. You don't talk about it. You keep it in the top drawer of your desk at home, under a broken watch you haven't thrown away. Some of the candidates remind you of specific people. You don't tell them that either. You just keep teaching. Level 6, the cost. The shoulder surgery happens in March. Walter Reed. The same hospital you drove past 100 times. The same one you sent men to. You're under for 2 hours. When you come out, the surgeon tells you the rotator cuff was nearly detached. He asks how long you've been compensating. You tell him 14 months. He looks at you for a moment. He doesn't say anything else. Physical therapy is 3 days a week for 4 months. You sit in a waiting room with soldiers half your age. Some of them are missing limbs. You know the medics who worked on some of them. A few of them you trained. You do your exercises. You don't complain. You go home. At night, it is quiet in a way you are not used to. No rotation coming. No class to prepare. Just the house and the shoulder and the broken watch in the top drawer. The notebook has 14 names now. You have been doing this for 17 years. You have performed 31 surgical procedures in the field. You have treated 340 combat casualties. You have treated enemy combatants. You have treated children. You have told men they were going to be fine and been right, and told men they were going to be fine and been wrong, and you have learned to live with not always being able to tell the difference in the moment. A reporter contacts your public affairs office. He's writing a piece on special forces medicine. He wants to interview you. He wants to ask about the ethical challenges. You decline. Not because you don't have answers, because you have too many, and none of them fit in a newspaper. Your knees still hurt going downstairs. That doesn't go away. The surgeon said it probably won't. You finish physical therapy in July. You are cleared for full duty. You put in for one more deployment. Level 7, the last. Syria. Northeast. A by-with-through mission with Kurdish Special Operations Forces. You are the oldest man on the fire base by 6 years. The team sergeant is 31. The junior medic, a kid named Okafor, just finished the course 8 months ago. He's good. He reminds you of someone. You don't tell him that. You watch him work a trauma drill one afternoon. His hands are fast. His head is calm. He makes the right call before you would have told him to. You remember that feeling, the certainty, the belief that training is enough. You don't say anything. He'll learn what training doesn't cover. Everyone does. The deployment is quiet by recent standards. Advise and assist. Medical patrols, some indirect fire. One mass casualty event in week 9. A vehicle-borne IED. 4 Kurdish fighters, burns and blast injuries. You and Okafor work for 3 hours. 2 survive. 2 don't. One of the 2 who doesn't is 22 years old. You find a photograph in his chest pocket while you're cutting away his kit. A woman, a small child, maybe 2 years old. You set it on the table where he can't see it. You keep working. That's what you do. When it's over, you don't say anything. You don't move for a moment. Then you pick up the photograph and place it on his chest. You step back. Okafor is looking at you. You don't say anything. There's nothing to say. You don't tell Okafor how to feel about the ones you lose. You don't need to. You watch his face after, and you see the thing beginning in him that began in you a long time ago. You want to say something useful. You don't try. In week 14, you get a letter from a medical nonprofit working in Mali. They have been operating a clinic in the village outside Gao, where you ran patrols 9 years ago. A girl came in for a follow-up on old burn scarring. The local doctor recognized the fieldwork. He tracked down your unit. He wanted someone to know. You read the letter twice. You fold it and put it in the notebook. 14 names. 1 letter. You finish the deployment. You come home. You put in your retirement paperwork the following Monday. You are retired. 17 years. 31 field surgeries. 340 casualties treated. 14 names in a notebook. 1 letter. You do some consulting work. You sleep past 5 a.m. for the first time in your adult life. You get the other knee looked at. You stay in touch with Okafor. He's on his 3rd deployment now. He texts sometimes. Short updates. You write back short answers. That's enough. Somewhere right now, a barracks room at Fort Liberty. Tuesday afternoon, a staff sergeant is eating a protein bar. His team sergeant is filling out paperwork. Not looking up. You should put in for 18D. The team sergeant says. The staff sergeant asks why. Because you're wasting it here. That's the whole conversation. He has no idea what he just started. He'll find out. They always do.